The Raiders, and there is a lot of news basically talking about who's might be the head coach of next year and who's definitely not going to be the head coach of next year. But let's go on to first. Latavius Murray is saying to the media he thinks Tony Spariano and a lot of other players are saying they should keep Tony as the head coach. As much as I like Tony for giving us our first win and really beating down the 49ers, we did lose last weekend against KC, and we're only a 2-win team. I don't think he's a good fit for the head coach. Do I think he deserves another position? Maybe. I think maybe he deserves the right to get another position because he did stick with us. He did help us get that first win. But however, he is not head coach material. We need a veteran. We need somebody who knows how to win. We need a Super Bowl caliber coach who's going to bring an attitude, bring a new face to this organization and get us going. Now, a lot of people are saying Harbaugh, which I would love to have, but it'd be only on one. I don't know if we would give him an extension of contract. We're going after him. We're going to trade. We're trying to trade for him. So is Miami as well. But, I mean, 1 year, pretty much, he only has 1 year left on San Francisco. Will we take the 1 year and just have him for 1 year, or will we give him all that money for extension contract? I just don't know, though. I don't know if he's going to stick around with the Oakland Raiders if he does become head coach. Because if he can't really see eye to eye and can't really keep on with the 49ers, what makes us think and everybody else think that he's going to stick with the Oakland Raiders? I mean, as much as I would love to have him in here and change the face of the Oakland Raiders, 49ers are still a caliber contending team. As much as we beat their ass, which was awesome, but they still have more wins than us. They still have more playoff appearances than us. So it's crazy to see Harbaugh leaving that team, which had all the success and still could maintain this success, and go on to the Oakland Raiders, who are a 2-win team, and really try to pretty much rebuild our organization, our team. It's just, it makes kind of no sense if you think about it. But hell, I would love to have him. I'm just saying, it's just kind of what makes us think that he's going to stick with the Oakland Raiders in the long term. I'm thinking long term. In the short term, sure, I want him as a short term coach to change everything up. But long term, is he really going to stick with the Oakland Raider organization, even though he was a QB coach and when he first QB coaching gig? We'll see. But we could cross out our Christmas list name, and that's John Gruden. John Gruden got an extension contract to be in a broadcast booth for Monday night till 2021. So if you wanted him to be the head coach of the Oakland Raiders next season, not going to happen. He signed this extension, and I'm pretty bummed. I wanted Chucky back. I was one of them who thought, sure, why not? Let's bring Chucky back, a familiar face, a Super Bowl winning coach. And really, he is like a face of the Oakland Raiders organization. People still recognize Chucky as part Raider. So that would have been nice, but he's not going to come back. And we know his brother is struggling as well from Washington. As well as, as much as I wanted John Gruden, I was pushing more of a Bill Cowher. We need somebody who's headstrong, who's really going to change the attitude in this organization, who's really not going to take no nonsense, and who wants to win. We need a veteran coach, a coach that has won the Super Bowl, presumably, who has a great resume. And there's a Mike Holmgren out there as well. You remember he won the Super Bowl with the Packers, and he took the Seahawks to the Super Bowl. People forget that. He took that Seahawks team to the Super Bowl. So it would have been it's nice. There's names out there. We still got Harbaugh. Harbaugh doesn't have a Super Bowl ring, but he went to the Super Bowl. Almost went to the Super Bowl last year. I mean, Harbaugh is a great name, and he's really just capitalizing on his head coaching career. He's at a prime right now. So it'd be nice to have him, but it also would be nice to have all these other names as well out there. There's still names out there. So don't just look at Harbaugh. If we don't get him, we can get all these other coaches. I think Mike Holmgren is definitely in the running for it, because remember, he came to the organization. They had a little talk in here. And Mark Davis, you heard the media say Mark Davis is looking to make a sweep in the front office. That means Reggie McKenzie is not safe. He might be fired, which would be awesome because he hasn't really produced anything other than Derek Carr being picked and Matt. But however, he's done a terrible job with this organization in the last few years. So Reggie McKenzie might be out. We might have a new general manager. I can't wait to see the changes that's going to happen in the Oakland Raiders. They need a change somewhere, somehow. We definitely need a QB, head coach in there that's really going to bring the prowess, the pretty much the old school outlaw, renegade, hard-hitting Oakland Raiders of the past. So we'll see about that. And also that new stadium. When are we going to get a new stadium? We need a new stadium. I love the Raiders. I love going to watch the Raiders play. But damn, even I got to say, we need a new stadium. Now there's a big controversy about going maybe to L.A. It would make my life easier, I would say. It definitely would make my life, instead of driving, I live in Santa Maria, California, instead of driving that 3 hours or 4 hours to get to Oakland, I'm driving only, well, it's about the same time. No, to get to Oakland, it's a little bit more longer, maybe 4.5, and then when I get to LA, it's only about 3. Not around there. I don't know. I can't really remember. But going to LA would definitely take less time, and it's definitely more of a safer kind of journey. I mean, it's territory I'm familiar with when I go driving to LA. When to Oakland, it's a few times a year. So it's definitely, I would love to go to LA. And LA has all the merchandise. The problem with the Oakland Raiders is just such a small organization. It's a Raider nation. It's a nation. So basically, we don't get the same love on TV or television. We don't get the same, publicity that we should get from that win against the 49ers. We should have had huge publicity, but we didn't get it. So if we move to LA, we get the recognition that we well deserved. We get, there are going to be headlines. We're going to be well known more, even though we are a huge fan base as it is. But we'll be known nationally as well, and maybe not that much of a just butt jokes. I mean, they should have really. That was a great story. Us beating the 49ers, even the 49ers were struggling going into that game. We were the heavy underdog. So. It'd be nice to see pretty much the Oakland Raiders get their shine if they move to LA. But if they stay in Oakland, I mean, hear the ring of that. Oakland Raiders compared to Los Angeles Raiders. Even though Raiders were in Los Angeles at that time, Oakland Raiders. When I think of Raiders, I think of Oakland. I think it would be devastating for the Raider Nation if Oakland were to move. I mean, if Raiders would move from Oakland to LA. I love Oakland. I love my Raiders, Oakland Raiders. I mean, it's just Raiders. That's Raiders, Oakland Raiders. That city really deserves a Bay Area team like the Raiders. I mean, that city really lightens up. The fans are amazing when you get there. They really love their team. They really want to see us succeed. They're frustrated when we lose. So, I mean, I can't take away from, new stadium, publicity. There's two pros and cons here. You're taking the team away from Oakland, their home base, their nation. But then again, when you go to LA, you're giving them much more. You're giving them a bigger spotlight. So there's pros and cons, whether they move or, stay. But you know what? I'm going to be a Raider fan no matter what. Wins, losses, ties, whatever. Raiders. Until I die. So, yeah, that's basically my thoughts on basically the whole coaching thing, news of the coaching thing as well. John Gruden is not going to be our coach next season. Harbaugh is still in contention. And Mike Holmgren, don't be surprised if Mike Holmgren's name comes out of nowhere. And also, my thoughts on basically if Oakland should move to LA. I think there's a lot of pros and cons there. I think it could work, but we'll see. So thank you guys for listening, and until we see the future of the Oakland Raiders and who our coach is going to be and what kind of changes Mark Davis is going to make. So thank you guys for listening. Until next time, until we talk the Raiders. Damn it.